So, as you all know, I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan. It is possibly my favorite game franchise next to Arkham, if not on par with Arkham. And, you know, Assassin's Creed Mirage is coming out, and I've been super excited. It looks great. I'm really happy with the gameplay they've given us. And the game is, for an era where games are $70 to $80, or $90 rather, whether it's standard or deluxe. This game is $50 for the standard and $60 for the deluxe, which is super nice and is definitely not. It's going to help to not put a huge dent in my pocket when I pre-order this game soon here. But I wanted to talk about this kind of common theme that's been going on with this game. And Ubisoft has been promoting it as a back-to-basics game, and it definitely looks that way. But there's been some screenshots that have been released and some footage that have been released that is kind of showing like the sort of fantastical side of Assassin's Creed that a lot of people have been, very mixed and polarized about in the past, kind of the RPG trilogy with Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. But I think it worked well in Origins for the most part. I don't think it worked as well in Odyssey and Valhalla, but, to each his own. I'm not a fan of those games, but that's just my opinion. But I had a good conversation with someone the other day, and, it's true, and this is kind of a view that I've held for a while, is that these games should not be criticized for being fantastical, but they should be criticized for what the fantastical elements are. And that is kind of where I'm at, because people have been saying, well, this isn't really back to basics. Assassin's Creed was always grounded and very realistic, and that's just not true. It was not ever grounded or realistic. The first game, we have pieces of Eden. We literally have artifacts made by a precursor race helping the world run. Like, this is not realistic. Secondly, we have Assassin's Creed 2, which you see the literal precursor race, which is the Isu. And obviously it's explained later that these mythological beasts are Isus. So, that's very interesting. Now, I don't personally like that aspect. I think it should have been kept within the box that it was in, from like Assassin's Creed 1 to Assassin's Creed 4, Unity probably, actually. And even Syndicate, which I'm not a huge fan of, kept that kind of train going of how it sort of was originally. It had gotten a little skewed over the years, but I think it was more close to home there than it was from Origins to Valhalla. And now, obviously, it looks like it's seeping its way through into Mirage, and people are not happy with that. I am not super happy with it, but it depends on how they use it, obviously, because as I said before, Origins did it pretty well, I think. It wasn't an overkill. It wasn't so much a main portion of the story. And obviously, Origins wasn't even as RPG as the other two became, which is partially why I like Origins so much, because it's not as RPG. I find Origins to be very fun, and I know some people I know who are Assassin's Creed fans don't find Origins to be as good as certain people think it is, but I really like Origins for the most part. But that being said, Odyssey, Valhalla, they went into a direction that I didn't really like. But here we're seeing kind of clips and snippets of this kind of very fantastical side. And as I said, I'm not a huge fan of it, but that's okay, because Assassin's Creed is fantasy. It always was, it always has been. I mean, look at the Tyranny of King Washington. It's literally a storyline exploring an alternate timeline where George Washington becomes king. Like, that's crazy. And it's all simply due to a piece of Eden. I mean, that's fantasy. And then, you have the whole story of Desmond and the precursor race. I mean, that's all fantasy. Every last bit of it is fantasy, and it's great fantasy, might I add. I absolutely love and adore that stuff. And I think, I never understood the kind of malice towards the modern day assassin side, because I think up to Desmond's death, it was phenomenal. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. But yeah, I'm just really curious to see what they do with this fantastical side this time around. Some of it looks very classic and back to basics, and others kind of continue where this series has been in the past few years, which I'm still open to seeing how this story unravels. I'm very invested in Assassin's Creed. I have been since I started playing it in 2012, and I always will be until it until it either gets so bad that it's unbearable or the series ends, which it doesn't look like is happening anytime super soon. But yeah, I'm super curious about this new game. I'm really excited to play it. I'm so excited. I cannot wait, and I will be doing Let's Plays on the channel. So excited. But what do you guys think? Are you guys a fan of the fantastical side of Assassin's Creed? Or did you prefer it when it was it was still fantastical, but it wasn't so mythological? And that's kind of the point of this video that I wanted to make. But let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed. Stay tuned for all my other videos. Go check out the Speaking Nerd podcast in the link below. That is a podcast I'm a part of. If you like all things nerdy, you will dig that. And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Until the next one, see you all later. Peace out and God bless.